Hey bunnies, so I just finished filming this look for you. Luckily this little guy was asleep while that was happening, but he just woke up, so I'm gonna just bring you guys into the video. This is the look, like I said before. If you guys are interested in seeing this look, stay tuned. Okay bunnies, so the first thing we're going to start with is our foundation. The main purpose of this video is to have a pretty much flawless face, less focus on the eyeshadow but more on the face overall. Now the foundation I'm using is my Mary Kay Brown 600 medium coverage foundation. I'm putting that on the back of my hand, as you can see there, just a little bit. And I'm going to be taking my Sonia Kashuk flat top brush just to put that on my face. Okay, now that we're done with foundation, we're gonna move on to concealer. The concealer that I'm gonna be using is my Mary Kay concealer in Bronze Wine. And I use this kind of different from how I've used it in my previous makeup videos, which is like, it seems like forever ago since I did a makeup video using this. But this is it here, and what I do is just put 4 dots under my eye in a diamond pattern, and then a couple dots down my nose, and then 1 on my chin, and that's it. And that is how I apply my liquid foundation. And now, because this is a full coverage concealer, you do not need a lot at all, because the more you use, the more cakey and the more creased your under eye area is going to be, and you don't want that, especially on Valentine's Day when you're going out with your guy. Guys don't like a lot of heavy makeup. They like light, gorgeous makeup. But because we're divas and because we're glamorous, we're gonna go full coverage, but we're gonna try to tone it down for them. Okay, with my concealer in place, I'm gonna take my fingers and spread the concealer all around. The reason why I prefer to use my fingers is because the warmth from the fingers, it helps to spread the makeup better than using a brush. If you want to use a brush, you can use a brush, but I'm gonna use my fingers. Okay. And as you can see, I'm just passing it in. I'm not rubbing it, because you don't want to create too much, what's the word I'm looking for, friction or pulling and tugging underneath the eye area, because that also helps to, that also increases your chances of creasing under the eye when you rub instead of pat. And I'm just going to take a little bit from my finger and put it right at my, what do you call this area right here? I don't remember. Right on the top of my lip. Right there. Okay, and that's your highlight. Now what I'm going to do is go back in with my Sonia Kashuk flat top brush and just brush out all the hard lines where I did the highlight. And when you're doing your highlight, this is the most important part, the blending, because you don't want to be walking around with lines and creases all over your face looking beat. Okay? Okay, and that's it. Now what I'm going to do next is set my highlight with my Ben Nye banana powder. Now, to set this, I'm going to be using my MAC dual-sided sponge, and I'm going to use the soft white side just to apply the powder, okay? Pour a little bit in the cap. And we're gonna leave it like that for a couple of minutes, okay? Now I'm gonna go over the rest of my face with my Ben Nye Topaz powder. Another amazing powder you can use is the e.l.f. HD setting powder. If you want to have the mattest face in the world, that is the powder to use. The e.l.f. HD powder is like, I think, $4, so you seriously cannot beat that. Now I saw somewhere somebody saying that you shouldn't set your powder with a brush. All I want to say about that is use whatever you have. Use whatever works for you. If you apply your powder with a brush and it looks flawless, continue using your brush. Don't let anyone tell you anything. Okay? Okay. Makeup is too much fun to be having all these simple, like, stupid rules. Whoopsies. Matte out those brows. Those shiny ass brows. And after all of that, I just noticed that that clip was so blurry. I do strongly apologize if that was impossible for you to see. Hopefully everything is okay now, so let's just continue with this look. Okay, now that we brushed away all the excess Ben Nye powder, we are going to go in with some color on our face because we are chocolate girls. We cannot walk around looking all ashy like this. Okay. Okay, now what I use as bronzer is this loose powder from a company called Zuri, and this you find in your local beauty supply store. You can find it also in Walmart. I know that's for a fact here in South Florida. You can also go online and find this powder. Again, it is Zuri loose powder in cocoa bronze, and this is the powder that I use in every single video. If you have a contour powder that you love that you cannot do without, go ahead and use that. Okay, I take my angled my bronzing brush, dip it in, and how I like to do my contour is right here. I don't bring it all the way around down to here anymore. I used to do that. I found out that this is how I like it now, kind of like a high, I can't describe it, but I prefer it right up here. So I do a little smirk and put it right here, all the way up into my hairline. And this looks better to me than bringing it all the way down, okay? And this is just to add some color to your face so you don't look as washed out as I do right now. I'm also going to do this on my jawline and bring it down to my chin. Now using my creasing brush, taking that same powder, I'm going to contour my nose and my temples. And that is your contour. Okay, now with clean hands, clean fingers, reach for your Kiss Envy Me blusher, bronzer, highlighter kit. And I did introduce you to this kit a few videos back. I will try to link the video below. I will try to find where you can find this online, because I'm sure you can't find this online. Kiss is a huge brand. And you're going to take this, take your either your setting spray, your MAC Fix Plus, your water bottle, whatever you have, and you're gonna spray the product. This is a baked product, so it works better wet. Okay, now what I do is I take my fingers, this is the whole point of cleaning your hands. I take my fingers and I'm gonna start off with the highlighter. I'm gonna take my finger, dip it into the highlighter, and highlight my cheekbones, okay? And if you're wondering which one of the Kiss blusher, bronzer, highlighter palettes this is the Bronze Goddess palette, okay? I love golds and browns on darker complexions. It's so gorgeous. You could also do this with your fan brush if you wanted to. You still want to blend that out after you apply it. Again, we want no lines. We want this to look like the sun kisses us every time they look at us, okay? Even at night. I'm gonna do just a little bit of the highlight down my nose, just a little bit, because you don't want to look too shimmery unless you like to look shimmery. See what I did? Just like 1, 2, 3, a couple dots, and then using a different finger to blend it all out. And that's what I'm going to now take my angled brush again and go into the bronzer here. And apply that right there. The hollows of my cheeks. And that's the only place I'm putting this one, this bronzer. So that when you smile, you shimmer. Now you can go in with the blusher if you want, but I'm not a blush person, so I'm gonna skip the blusher. Now we are going to move on to the eyes. This is what you have all been waiting for, darlings. The eyes aren't going to be huge either, just a little something something. As always, I'm using my trusty, my handy dandy e.l.f. palette. I love this palette. It hasn't steered me wrong yet. Taking your creasing brush, you are going to find the darkest brown in the palette, which is this puppy right here, the third powder from the right one to this one here, this brown. We're gonna take this brown and go right into our crease, right into the crease. What's a crease? Crease. Do not worry about fallout. With this palette, there will be no fallout. Even if there is fallout, take your fan brush. You know what? Don't even use a fan brush. Blow it away. Find, if you have a standing fan, use that to blow it away. Find a child or somebody to blow it away and then go over with your fan brush. If you use your fan brush directly on there, you might just spread around the product. I don't know about any other company, any other brand eyeshadow, but this one right here, very, very little to no fallout. Okay, taking that same brown and going into the other crease. And now that our crease has been warmed up, you reach for your eyeshadow brush. And with the eyeshadow brush, I'm going in for a gold color. I'm gonna be using, which gold should I use? They're so pretty, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna be using this gold right here. Taking this gold and putting it directly on my eyelid. So pretty. Now you want to make sure that you're patting the color on your lid and not just swiping it. When you pat it, you get a much better color payoff than when you swipe the shadow on your lid, okay? And also a lot less fallout. Especially if you tap the brush a little bit before you start to put on the foundation to get rid of the excess powder off the brush, you'll be good. It's so hard to do my left eye. Oh my gosh. Now, going back in with your creasing brush, you're going to take a different brown, a more sparkly brown. We're going to go in with the brown directly on top of the dark brown that you use, which is this one here. 1, 2, 3. Right above that dark brown that you had used before. I really hope you guys can see that. And you're going to take this and you're going to do the crease, but more into the inner part, less so on the outer crease, if that makes any sense to you. So we're gonna go it right here and leave the outer section alone. And this is just to blend out the shadow so that, again, there are no harsh lines. It literally will look like we were born this way, like we woke up like this. Okay. And all the products I'm using are so cheap. So if you are a beginner, this is super simple for you. What I would suggest to all beginners is when you're doing eyeshadow, don't just use one color. Like if you're using, let's say you're doing a blue eyeshadow, always go in with a color in your crease so that it blends out and looks a lot prettier. If you just put one blue shadow and then walk out the door, you look retarded. And blue is one of my favorite colors to work with. So do the blue. You can do a dark brown, blend it out, use a skin tone color, blend it out. You can go in with black, smoke it out. Those are your options: black, brown, flesh tone colors. Okay, black or brown. Either one of those. Black is, brown is more flattering than black. Black gives it a more dramatic look. It's your choice, but don't just walk out with one streak of eyeshadow on your face. That's just retarded. No offense to retarded people. Did I do this eye already? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Now that we have all that color on our lids and we look all gorgeous, we're gonna go in with our mascara. Now the mascara I'm using is nothing special. I got it for $2 from my local beauty supply store. You can use whatever mascara you want because I'm gonna put on falsies. If you don't like putting on falsies, I recommend you get a a mascara that will lengthen and curl and all that good stuff to your lashes, because when you're on your date with your honey, you want to be batting those pretty lids all night, making him fall in love with you. And boys will tell you that, oh my gosh, you don't need all that, you don't need lashes, whatever. But as soon as you put them on, they're like, oh my gosh, honey, you look so gorgeous. Oh yeah, they love it. And if you notice what I'm doing, I'm like zhuzhing at the roots and then coming up. This separates the lashes and makes them look fuller. Please try not to poke yourself in the eye. Mascara in the eye. You will go blind. Trust and believe that. Not permanently, but you'll go blind. I've gone blind a couple times. It's not fun. Now if you want, you can go ahead and do your bottom lashes as well, which I'm gonna do. And before I put on my falsies, I'm just going to spray my face down with my setting spray so that all of this magic stays on all night. And we... Oh. Ugh. Now, while that puppy sets, I feel like nothing went down here. There we go. Feeling much better. I like feeling it on every corner of my face. Now as that puppy sets, let's prep our lashes to put them on. So with your lashes on, the next step is to line and tight line your eyes. Now I love the tight line because it makes your lashes look fuller, it makes your face look even more flawless than it already is. Now ladies, with your face pretty much done, the very last step is lips. And now because this is a Valentine's look, you are going to go in with a red lip. Of course you can choose any lip you want, but it's red because it's Valentine's Day. Okay, you can go with pink if you want to, but I'm gonna go with red. First thing you want to do is line and fill your lips. Filling is optional because of the lipstick we're going to be using, but if you don't have this lipstick, then fill your lips. Even if you don't have even if you do have lipstick, fill your lips. Fill them, line them, and fill them. I'm using I'm using my Theon's Red Kohl lip pencil. Ask your mom or your grandmom about Theon's number 5 if you don't know what it is. Theon's. That's that old school-ish. And the reason why we line and fill is because it makes your lips look perfect. It makes your lipstick not bleed. It makes your face look perfect. My lips so crusty. Ooh. That's what we're gonna do. Best investment I ever made was getting my MAC Prep and Prime lip. You've seen this in my previous makeup videos and I do swear by this. It does moisturize, it does prep and prime your lips perfectly. Your lipstick will stay on forever. Okay. Now that we are prepped and primed, we can finally properly line. And fill. Cause our lips are black as hell. Man, I need to exfoliate my lips so bad. especially for Valentine's Day. Make sure your lips are smooth and kissable and soft. Exfoliate those puppies, okay? Now I'm going to be going in with my Ruby Woo from MAC, the best red lipstick in the world. Okay, the best red I think is the Riri Woo because it covers better, it looks a lot better on darker skin tones, but I can't find my Riri Woo. So we're going in with number 2, Ruby Woo. I still love her though because she's faithful. She's been faithful to me, but Riri covers better. I'll say that. And someone told me it has more blue in it. That's why it looks better on darker skin tones. But hey, Ruby. If you have Riri, whip her out. It's crazy though, because in all my videos last year, not last year, but the year before, whichever year, I did the Valentine's makeup and the Christmas makeup, I used Ruby. Now, if we hadn't filled our lips, this would have still looked like freaking gorgeous, but it would not have looked gorgeous. Now, on top of that, you can just stop right here. You don't have to do anything else after this, but because we're divas, like I said, and we're glamorous, we have to be extra glammy. We are gonna go in with the MAC Lip Glass Viva Glam Rihanna, okay? And it smells great just like all other MAC lip products, and we're just gonna throw that on our lips. This does have some shimmer to it. And you don't have to pat it like I'm doing, you can just rub it, but I don't want to mess up my Ruby, if you feels me. Now if you prefer a matte lip, do not put this lip gloss over it. Me just extra, me just enough. And so okay ladies, and this is your finished look. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you need any ideas on what to do for Valentine's Day, because I'm not making a video this year, go to my blog, the454.com. There I have a list of things you can do if you are single or if you have a significant other. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace sign and kissy face. Bye.